Alright, hey guys, hopefully gonna try to make this a quick video. It's just something that has been weighing heavily on my mind, and I've been researching and looking into things. Uh, I'm gonna start out with letting you know a little bit about myself. I'm 30 years old. I have a disease called dysautonomia. Um, it's also known, parts of it is also known as POTS, POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardic syndrome. And what this means is my autonomic nervous system is broken, and the things that my body shouldn't have to think about and doesn't think about. My heart rate, my blood pressure, sleeping, blinking, breathing, digestion, reproduction, anything that you just naturally do is controlled by your autonomic nervous system. It's, ANS is the short form of it. ANS, autonomic nervous system. I didn't know there was an autonomic nervous system. I knew we had our central. And when I first was diagnosed, I'm guessing almost 3 years ago, it's a very weird time learning, but we've learned that I likely inherited this disease. It's not proven because no one in my family was ever diagnosed, but by comparison of medical histories and things that are weird, the odds are I inherited it or I was born with it, according to my medical history. Why did no one ever put two and two together and say, okay, this is your problem? I don't know. But anyways, that's the disease I have. Now, having said that, there's no cure. There is no FDA-approved medication specifically for dysautonomia. At this point, I am taking a beta blocker, which lowers my heart rate. It also lowers my blood pressure, and at times I have to compensate that by taking something called Florinef to raise my blood pressure. I also have to take in large amounts of sodium to keep my blood pressure raised, because postural orthostatic tachycardic syndrome, POTS, means when I stand up or sit up, my blood pressure drops and my heart rate increases. I have orthostatic intolerance, which means when I stand up, my blood pressure drops. The longer I'm up, the lower it goes, most of the time, to the point that I black out. So I'm very careful with how long I'm up. I've become very aware of signs and warnings. My body is signaling that I may be blacking out, or sometimes I lose vision. Sometimes, I have what they call silent migraines. I have several different migraine syndromes I have to worry about. Do I take medications for everything? No. But I do have to take a beta blocker every day of my life. I take an SSRI. I take Zoloft because it helps suppress the adrenal levels that often go through the roof due to the high heart rate and things like that. I take Klonopin, which is an anti-seizure medication, because it helps with my breathing. It helps me to be able to breathe better. It also helps me to sleep. But I'm taking minimal levels of this stuff that, I try, my doctor and I, we work together to try to only take what's absolutely necessary. Last year I was on medications about 3 times a day. I think it was something like 21 pills a day. This year I am on 3 a day, thank God. And we are working to try to find, to find the best method for me. Okay, having said all of that, I have become very aware of some things in our foods that we buy from the store and things like that, since starting gardening as a hobby. Since my health isn't great, I do gardening on small scale. It's nothing like what a lot of you guys do, but I enjoy it. But two things I've learned, organic and GMO. A month ago, GMO, I didn't know what it was. I still don't know all the basics of it, but I know enough to know that I don't want to put that in my body. I have enough problems. You know, I have enough health problems as it is. I don't want to put it in my body. I don't want it going into my children, when I can avoid it. So I've been researching, and if you want to learn what's in the food that you eat, I urge you to watch Food Inc. Inc. Incorporated. Watch it. There are some other videos, documentaries, well worth your time. Do some research on Monsanto. Google Monsanto, Monsanto. Google it. Just and learn what you can. Learn what a GMO is, a GMO or a GEO. I didn't know until I watched and I've researched that they put a lot of even like human DNA in our food. And to me, that's insane. You may think, okay, it's just corn. It's no longer just corn. It's so much more than that. You may be, if you have a wheat allergy, let's just say you have a wheat allergy. You're checking your labels and you're looking for products that may contain wheat. What you don't know is that GMO products, they are not required to tell you what they've got in them. They're not required to test them before they put them on the shelves. You could buy one vegetable and say, okay, I've got this vegetable, just, you know. But then you have this huge allergy breakout and you're like, what's going on? I didn't eat any wheat. But what you don't know is that there's wheat DNA that could have been injected into what you ate, thinking you had a wheat-free food product. It's completely insane. They don't know the dangers. They don't really care. All they care about is the money. I hear my husband say all the time, corporate greed, corporate this, corporate that. A lot of times I just shrug him off. I'm like, you know, whatever, I'm starting to agree with him. The more I read, the more I learn, the more I realize that the people who are in control of helping the laws pass, that are supposed to be keeping us safe, basically, they have their hand in our lawmaking process, and then they have this other one hand in hand with the companies who are pushing these non-healthy food processing type things. Garden of Eden, that's GARDEN-OF-EATIN.com, and look up how to avoid Monsanto. They have several links on their site, from Wikipedia, Vanity Fair, Center for Food Safety, Monsanto versus U.S. Farmers Report, the McSpotlight article. That's pretty interesting there. Government slashes pesticide reporting laws, organic consumers. They have tons of information that you can find there. But one thing that I would like to point out is this year, the more I learn, the more I don't want to put the garbage that they're selling into my body, into my children's body. I urge you to do your own research, do your own find your own way of figuring out your own opinion. I was watching these YouTube videos, and once again, I apologize for this ugly, ugly hat, but it's my kid's hat. My head was cold, and it's the first thing I grabbed. Do your own research. You know, I was watching YouTube videos, and I was like, I was hearing GMO this and non-GMO and GEO, and I was like, what is this stuff? Curiosity got to me, and now I know. I couldn't understand why certain people would push GMO and non-GMO, you know, buying non-GMO seeds, and they would literally toss out seed if they didn't know it was non-GMO. And I was like, you know, that's a seeds that somebody could use. But now I understand why they would not want to be growing a product that could be genetically modified. Because, for one, you don't know what they put in that product. Two, you don't know what it's going to do to you, what it does to you, or the lab animal they tested it on. It may have done fine in the rat, but if you test that same thing on a pig, it completely adverse effects. You don't know what it's going to do to you. So, do your own research. Find out. I know that for myself, I am looking into Safe Seed Resources. There are companies who have signed the Safe Seed Pledge, and what that means is they are doing business with only companies who do not do GMO seeds, who do only organic, who do heirloom. And those are the things that you need to be looking for. I will post a link for the Safe Seed resource list below, because I believe it's something that needs to be passed on. I'm glad that I found it, and I know that I've mailed out some seeds this year, and I will be honest with you, some of those seeds I don't know if they were GMO or not. I didn't know anything about this until I've been researching, and if you want to toss them, feel free to toss them if you're not comfortable with them. The seeds that I have here, I think mostly should be okay. But in the future, I will do my best to only order from companies that I have assurance from that they are non-GMO and they are certified USDA certified organic. I'll post that link for the Safe Seed resource, as well as some other links that you may find useful. And I'm still going to be learning and researching this, because I believe that what we put in us directly affects our health, and it affects it in such a way that we are not even aware of at this point. But I'm going to be my own guinea pig. I'm going to do my best to try and, over the next few years, try and get my family as far away from processed. And I mean, if you look over my shoulder right there, you see that we are not health nuts. There are boxed pastas and things like that up there. But I'm going to do my best to try and research and find out exactly the best way and learn how to possibly grow our own meat, our own eggs, raise our own chickens, whether it be rabbits. If we have to learn how to eat rabbits, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what our future holds, but I know that I want to grow and move towards as organic and as fresh and as clean eating as possible for the majority of our foods. So stay tuned, and if you care to, and try to follow me on this journey to learning about my foods, and let's see if it makes a difference in my health. It's something that I'm looking forward to finding out. If changing the way I eat can give me more pain-free days, more days I don't have to medicate, then I am completely all for it. But anyways, I'm going on the 15-minute time mark. I'll post those links, and I just want to say to you, research, find out for yourself. Have a good day, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.